A chamber trio toast to the season, healing sculptures, and theater notes from the Duluth Playhouse. That is the playlist.
Funding for the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
Tonight, three of Duluth's finest classical musicians come together to play. Please welcome the Gitchy Gammy Trio. So there is more music still to come, but right now it's theater we're talking about with the executive director of the Duluth Playhouse. Welcome, Christine Seitz.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming over. These are busy days at the Playhouse, and the season has just begun.
It's just begun, and it's crazy down there. We have so much going on. Where do you want to start?
Let's start at the playground.
Okay, we'll start at the playground.
There's a show called Equus.
Equus,
correct?
yeah. It's a very engrossing drama by Peter Schaefer. Actually, most people might connect the dots because it was the sensation over in London with Daniel Radcliffe. You all remember that? But it's just a terrific show, and like the News Tribune said, it's sublime. It's a sublime experience, so I would encourage everyone to go over. But it doesn't stop there.
No, but first of all, tell me a little bit about Mary Plaster's.
Oh,
I mean, it's staged beautifully.
It's so great. You know, of course, the stories about this young man and his relationship with God, really. And these horses, and it gets very deep and ethereal, but anyway, it requires horse heads. And Mary Plaster, who's a local artist, sculpted these amazing, out of wire, out of copper and wire and leather, these amazing horse heads that you can see through, but just give you that great sense of, and they're all in black, and it's just magnificent.
Beautiful staging in a black box theater and awesome costuming. Okay, switch gears now. The Children's Theater is about to open with The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
That's right. We got a couple holiday treats this year. Yep, the Children's Theater opens The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and I think there's about 40 or 50 kids that are in the show. Starts tomorrow night and should be a fun time. For each and every show, actually, there's also a costume parade, so we're encouraging the kids to come in their costumes, and at intermission, they can come up on the stage, and I think that by the round of applause or whatever, there'll be winners chosen. So it just, you know, makes it a fun thing to do. Why not?
And what we're seeing now are pictures from Thriller. They're doing a little musical number with the Michael Jackson Thriller. I think that's fantastic.
I know, isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
It's great. Well, that's all Kate Horvath, our education director. She's brilliant.
And let's talk a little bit about the Depot Foundation that recognized her work with kids and kind of growing or fostering that next generation of actors in our community.
That's right. Next week, Kate will receive the Community Initiative Award for her work in our community and with the youth, and she's brought a lot of progressive programming, and not just to the Playhouse, you know, to our community, and has just such a strong contact and connection with these kids, and it's just really powerful. So it's a well-deserved honor.
I was very proud and happy to say, I've met Kate. I'm very proud of what she's doing. Okay, so after the kids are done with Legend of Sleepy Hollow, it turns from a G to a not G.
Imagine that. We go from a children's show tomorrow night, and in less than an hour, we have to usher out that family-friendly audience and turn the show around for the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but totally different audience. So now the Playhouse has been around for almost 100 years, but certainly they're looking for a different audience, or they're changing it up. How do you manage that?
You know, it isn't looking for a different audience. The Playhouse is here to serve our region. And that's everyone, you know, and I think that in the past decade, we've just made a stronger concerted effort to provide experiences and opportunities for everyone. And so that might be a little bit of the switch, is that we've just put a little bit harder focus on that, you know.
Tell me a little bit about how you keep the level and the quality there, because I think in that commitment, I've seen a concerted effort to make every show shine. A good enough doesn't seem to be good enough, which is fantastic.
You know, that's what we're here to do, and we have so many talented artists in this area, and you know, really everywhere. We're all artists to one degree or another, and the quality is about advancing art. You know, that's what makes it fun. That's what makes me get up in the morning, is the potential and the possibilities of what we can do. And, you know, art's meant to grow. It's meant to change. It's meant to morph. All art forms are about telling stories, you know, and telling the story of us, of mankind. So they're interesting. We like them because they're about us. So you know, we connect with it. We relate to it, whether you're the audience or the artist. And what you're seeing in terms of the production values and the quality growing is really the investment from the Playhouse's end in our artist, and with our audiences too. You know,
it shows all the way around. And let me tip your hand just a little bit. We're wrapping up now, but a chorus line is already. You know, you are directing a chorus line, so break a leg with that. I know that.
No, I don't want to break a leg with that.
That's what you say in theater, so it's like, I don't know. But thank you so much for coming over to tell us about the Playhouse, and I'll see you out and about, and good luck with all of it.
All right, thanks so much.
You bet. Okay, just a reminder, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow opens this weekend at the Duluth Playhouse, followed by the Playhouse screening of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Costumes are super encouraged, but not required. And Equus runs 2 more weekends at the Duluth Playground. Now, 2 sculptors in Hovland extend the art to a new medium and new markets. Dan and Lee Ross create the work inspired by the animals who share our planet.
When you use a natural stone, you just don't know where you're going to end up.
I use various tools to get the textures, and then here's an otter that I have tucked into the caribou's antlers, and then on top of the otters a raven. It's just how I see them. You know, that's how I see an animal. We see all these animals and I've gotten to know them. You know, I've been making animals since I was a little kid. So it's just, you know, it's just evolved.
There's been more than a few stone pieces where I'll be out here working and I don't even realize
I have to
the
get
time.
him to stop.
That's looking a little better. All right, let's have a look. I'd like to retain this and then it'd come back down.
So you're going to cut
yeah,
that out?
this comes out. That's got to come out. Lee and I go over a lot of our design ideas together, and she might have a totally different idea what to do with this. It's really unusual granite, isn't it?
So a lot of times what we'll do at this stage is, you know, kind of stop and draw the shape out. We could do, you know, 50 sketches with a piece like this. We read about this project and it sounded like right up our alley.
I don't know, you wanted it to be perfect.
The first moment it's just, you know, really exciting, and then it becomes a little terrifying, you know.
This is the first time we've done really that many big stone pieces.
Here at Children's, we see kids from all over the state and outstate. A lot of the kids here are very sick. When you have a very sick child and you're scared and you're anxious, you need to have symbols of hope, and you need to have symbols of childhood, and things like those sculptures represent that. I think the kids can look at them and they can use their imaginations.
The snowshoe hare's there to listen, and the owl's there to watch over them at night.
I think my favorite is the bear because of it expresses a powerful emotion.
When you have a mom bringing their child in a wheelchair out for the first time, that first impressions make a huge difference. They could engage with their child. Oh, what do you think that animal is? Or they have real discussions that, you know, help them feel normal again. And I think that feels really good for parents too.
Our clay work was really taking on more and more of a stone look to it. The abstract is it's more difficult. When you do an abstract piece, you have to stop a lot of the time and examine the stone. Okay, where am I? If I start removing this, what is it going to do?
Well, it is It's
An
very
animal form,
bison-like,
yeah.
bison-like or bear-like. You know, you can see this would be, of course, the bottom, so.
Yeah, I was just starting to see this as a vertical form.
We never feel like collaborating as a compromise. We always feel like it's coming up with a third idea, a better idea. Just got so many ideas. I mean, we'll never get to them.
There's a poem that goes along with the sculptures in the Healing Garden, composed by Lee Ross herself. It's on our website, theplaylistonline.org. And while you're there, check out past episodes and feel free to make suggestions for future segments. Now, in our gallery tonight, there are paintings by Teresa Kohler, paper vessels by Sharon Meyer Postens, and Robin Murphy's rabbit sculpture. The three are staging an opening party on Friday the 28th with costumes and art-inspired fun. It's all compliments of Lizard's Art Gallery in Duluth. And now let's talk music with Sam Black. Sam, you play the piano with this crew, with this trio. You want to introduce your colleagues?
Well, on cello is Josh Airy, and he and I have been playing together since August of 2006. And in November of 2006, I went and asked Lori to recommend a violinist who might become a part of a trio, and she says, "How about me?" And since then, we have been playing together both in rehearsal and publicly here and around.
So tell me what jazzes you guys, and you'll have to speak for the group. What jazzes you about chamber music?
Well, chamber music is so incredibly rich. You have three people who are performing serious music in each of their parts, and they have to be very conscious individually, but at every moment they have to be listening to each other, because the ensemble is what really has to carry.
As Josh explained, you're both lead and support at the same time.
At all times, yes, indeed.
Tell me about recordings or potential future performances
Well,
you have
what
coming
recordings we have at the moment are recordings of live concerts off and on over the past 4 to 5 years. If anybody is interested in those, they can find them by contacting me. We particularly are fond of composers who are relatively little known, who lived between 1880 and about 1945, and we also are fascinated by composers who are younger than me and writing music for trio at this point in time, like the first piece we played tonight.
Yeah, so tell me, that touched on autumn and your last piece. Do you want to tell us what we're going to hear here coming out?
The last piece is the first trio written by a prominent American musician by the name of Arthur Foote. He lived in the Boston area, died in 1938. He wrote 2 trios. The first trio was written about 1917. Very post-romantic, we say, rich, heavily textured, 4 movements, big kind of trio. That post-romantic music has dropped out of the performance spectrum pretty much a lot since 1945, but we enjoy that era quite a lot.
We have about 30 seconds left, so tell me about, what is the common denominator among the three of you?
Well, the common denominator is performance, and our next coming performance is 2 o'clock on this Sunday afternoon in Cloquet at the Encore Theater there just off of Highway 33, when we will play all of this piece of music plus more. But 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, we are impassioned by performance.
Well, thank you for performing for us. I appreciate you coming over and sharing your music. And thank you for watching tonight. Now, if you have good plans for the weekend, great. Remember to go out and support the arts. I leave it to you.
Funding for the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and by viewers like you.